There's just going to be some updates on a few things I've been working on the bus, talk some numbers and stuff. If you don't already subscribe to our channel, please think about subscribing. Click the little subscribe button and the bell notification. We do post a lot of content here on the channel, and we have a lot of really cool projects coming up in the next month. I'm sure you would like to subscribe and check all that stuff out. Thank you. Okay, I got the inverter about ready for the install here. This is the 2000 watt magnum. I did look into the instructions in it there. This one does not have breakers on it for the AC load side, so you need to run it to a sub panel. So I got a small little box, holds 2 breakers. This is going to power the kitchen and the bedroom in the bus. And then I have the remote control panel for it, and I added a separate ground bar so that my neutral and ground are not bonded in the box. This does automatically do the neutral bond switching on it. So when it's in inverter mode, it's isolated. So it's not going to mess up the neutral ground bond in the bus, which is not supposed to be neutral ground bonded. It's supposed to get grounded at the pole. But when you don't have a pole and you're just using the inverter, after reading the instructions, it seems like I do leave that connected in there. It has a battery, because it has the charger in it, there's a battery temperature sensor that gets mounted on one of the batteries so that you don't cook the batteries when you're charging them. It maintains a normal temperature on them. So I think I have everything here, and the install should go real well. So AC in, and then two legs come off, 2 separate 20 amp breakers that we're going to go to. I'll have the remote panel, it's an inverter charger, does everything there. Put this up. It does have this small breaker on it too for the input side. It's got a 30 amp breaker right there, but these are not there, so that's why I have to have that extra panel. But it's not very big, so that'll be fine. And these are QOs, so it should all go together here. I'm gonna go ahead and install it tomorrow. It's a little too hot out there today. It's in the 90s. I'm gonna start in the morning tomorrow. It should take me about 2 hours, I think. Mostly because everything else is already run. All the wires are run. Battery cables are made. I'm just replacing where that other inverter is at, so it should go pretty quick. Okay. I have the power inverter installed. I have to cut this hole a little bigger to make this remote panel is a lot larger than the one that I had in there prior. So everything works perfectly on it. The inverter, the charger. So it's got a lot of crazy modes on it. One of the things I think it's set up for is it can automatically start the generator if you buy a module for it. Yeah, that's what I was reading in the book. I'm not sure if that's available in my model or not, but that's a pretty neat feature. I did buy like the cheapest base model 2000 watt magnum inverter that there was, that was pure sine. And after looking at the book for the install instructions, I can see why it was the cheapest one, because like all the electrical connections inside, there wasn't a block in there to attach things to. Everything was like wire tied with wire nuts. Like it was just blank wires that you had to hook together. So I see by looking at the install panel that mine was just different than all the other ones in the book. So I see why I saved the money, but it was worth it to me. I had to buy the extra panel. It didn't have the fuses inside. Maybe spending an extra $300-400 bucks, you would have got a little bit nicer unit. But I don't think I needed any, none of that stuff's really going to matter to me. So for me, saving the few $100s was worth it. It's got a 3-year warranty on it. And yeah, I have the transfer switch on the bus as well. So when the generator starts, it delays for like a minute before it switches power over. That's what happened to my old one, is the generator started and that dirty power right at the startup of the generator took it out. It didn't like it, and that was it. It wasn't a Magnum brand, but it was Dimensions, which is the same company that owns Magnum, or their partners or whatever. So I think the technology was still the same, but it was like for ambulances. It had a 3 times surge rate instead of 2. Like most things, if it's a 2,000 watt inverter, it has like a 4,000 watt surge or something like that. Well, that previous one I had, it was ×3. It was made for ambulances and stuff. It was a really nice unit, but it was 4 years old, out of warranty, and they no longer make the parts for it anymore. And it was over $2,000. It was not a cheap unit. This particular Magnum one here was only, I forgot what I paid for it. I posted a link to it. God, my brain is trashed. I mean, the engine rebuild and everything, and then the new tires and all that. I'm in the bus for some money the last month. So this is hooked up to my house battery system, which I have 1,500 amp hours of lead acid batteries, which I know is well over 1,000 pounds of batteries in the bus. Someday I'd like to convert those to the lithium ion stuff, but just right now, you know, $1,000 for 100 amp hours of that, which kind of is more like 200 amp hours of lead acid batteries, because you can't let the lead acid ones go more than 50% below charge rate. So really half of that amp hours isn't really accessible to me anyways, but it'd be nice to free up some weight. I know some of the guys that I follow on YouTube that have, you know, like the electric car batteries in their bus, things like that. That might be something I might look into, to get a ton of storage that doesn't weigh a ton. A ton of storage for half a ton or a quarter of a ton. All right, let's talk some numbers. The engine rebuild on the bus. I'm into the bus for some serious money right now in the last month. So the engine rebuild was like $3,200. That was just the parts only. That is parts for the cylinders, the pistons, all that stuff, the gasket kits. You know, we put all new injectors in it. That is not including the engine head, which the head was another, well, I paid $700 to have the first one machined, sold it for $900, bought the second one for $500, which it was supposed to be $400. I showed up there and then the guy said it was $500 after I was told it was $400. That sucked. That was $100. And then that was $960 at the machine shop for the head gasket set and everything else. So you can add that on top of that $3,200, whatever that is. I don't feel like doing the math right now. And then the clutch was another almost $1,300, and I don't even have that on the bus yet. I have it with me, so it's ready to be changed. The power inverter, so what was that, another almost $1,400 by the time I had the remote control switch and all that stuff for it. Somewhere around there, I forgot. I posted a link for whatever that was on the link. That's what I paid. And then the new tires that I just got back, that was another $1,300. Man, everything's $1,300. So I'm afraid to add all those numbers up together, but that's what I'm into the bus for. We're starting to get everything together now for Burning Man too. So we've got lots of little things we've been buying for that. Extra, you know, we gotta have a tarp for under the bus, and painter's tape to seal the windows to keep the dust out. I'm going to re-wax everything on the outside of the bus. The bus is gonna be a mess when we come back from there. I've worked on buses that have been to Burning Man, so I'm well aware of how messy it's gonna be. I've seen it firsthand. I've been in other buses that have been there, so people are always, you know, trying to warn me about how nasty it's going to be. I get it. It's going to be horrible. That light, powdery, dusty, acidic, nasty sand stuff. I don't even want to call it sand. The playa dust. I understand how nasty it is. I've seen it firsthand, so it's not going to be a shock to me. But I plan on cleaning the bus as best as I can several times if I have to, and I anticipate that I will find some of that dust forever on the bus. So. You don't need to warn me about it. I'm well aware. But yeah, we're getting, you know, lights for the bikes and things like that. We got bike locks and just getting everything going for that. Extra tarps and whatever it's going to take. Luckily, the camp that we're staying at has electricity, so we will be plugged in. We're not going to be roughing it as much as you think we might be. So we'll have 30 amp outlet power off their big generator, as long as it doesn't fail. That was kind of one of the reasons I chose to go with Joey over at skate camp. Once our buddy had to cancel because he fell off the roof. So for me, you know, being boondocking and running the generator and how terrible that is, it's just gonna be nice to be plugged in and have big power there at skate camp. So that'll be nice. But we're really looking forward to everything. It should be a lot of fun. It should be a great experience. something, you know, check off the bucket list kind of thing. So just looking forward to that. All the upgrades to the bus, the new head should be done tomorrow on the bus. Just waiting. I could have finished it up myself, but I mentioned it to Tyler that I was going to do it, and he seemed a little disappointed that he really wanted to help me do it. So I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I'll wait to have it. It'll be easier with him here, but you know, it's more important for me to spend some time with him and doing it than just to get it done. The new tires, I'm 50-50 on if I'm going to mount them myself or not. We'll see. That'll be a challenge. I might just take them to a tire shop and pay, you know, $30 a tire or whatever they charge to do it. It'll probably be well worth it to do that. So I got a few days here at home before we hit the road. We're home for a couple days, then I have a birthday, and then we're leaving immediately after that way I could be home for my birthday with the kids. And then right after the birthday we're leaving. So I think either late on the 2nd or early on the 3rd we're hitting the road. And got lots of buses to go work on, so you'll be watching for lots of new videos coming up. Tomorrow I'll have another video of the bus here, getting the head all back on and all that stuff with Tyler. So it won't be a lot of power tools used in that either. People complain about me using regular wrenches and ratchets and shit because everybody uses electrical everything. I have all that electrical stuff, but when you're doing that, especially when you're working with your son, hell, you can't hear each other. The tools are making a racket, and I would rather spend some time with him, and it was fun doing that way. And when we put it back together, it's gonna have a lot of torque wrenches and stuff too, so you're not gonna hear a lot of power tools going off, impacts and cordless ratchets and all kinds. You're not going to hear that. You're going to hear click and click, 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 click. That's what you're going to hear. And if you want to watch it, that's great. But don't complain about me using hand tools, because that's what we mostly do. But I have all other stuff and I use it sometimes. But you know, I'm not going to use something to make time go a lot faster when I'm spending time with my son. That's ridiculous. So enjoy the video. See you tomorrow. This is off of the housing there. It's 1.25 inches. I have 1.5 inches, but I didn't have 1.25 inches last time. That's that crappy hose that was leaking last time for me, and then the other one that's still on there. Those are the only two hoses that I've never replaced. The one was only leaking because the hose clamp wasn't on tight, but the hose itself looks pretty ratty. It's kind of bloated and stuff, so I'm going to get in there and replace those two. So if I get a foot of 1.25 inches at the auto parts store today, I'll be good to go with that. Well, the hose fits. So I call the parts store, AutoZone, ask the guy for I need 1.25 inches straight stick of radiator hose. I need 6 inches, but you probably sell it by the foot, so at least a foot. So he asked me what vehicle it's for. I'm like, you're not going to find it by the vehicle. I just need 1.25 inches straight stick radiator hose. He goes in the back. I'm on the phone, measures it, I guess, comes back and says, okay, yeah, I have some here, but it's closer to 2 feet. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. It's $12. Okay. I go there to get it, and he comes out with a piece of flexible 1.25 inches. You know, the flexible pipe has the little ribs in it as it goes. It's kind of like this here. So there's no way to put clamps on it. You know, the end is flat like this, but the rest of it's not. So I'm like, no, that is not going to work. That is not straight stick radiator hose. So this is what we end up with, this pre-molded 3-foot, 4-foot long thing, but it is straight in the middle, so I'll be able to cut it and use it. It was $20. It's just the most ridiculous thing ever. You can't buy just straight stick radiator hose anymore. Everything's pre-molded, and they look it up by the car. Everything else, that's just weird. So anyways, I'll be able to replace the hose, the one that gave me the problem on the last trip, and then that one there that is pretty old too. So both those will get replaced with this stuff. Thanks for watching today. If you get a chance, think about maybe subscribing to our channel again, or also visit our Patreon site. We have some really cool things. One of our Patreon things, you can $50 a month, you can get up to a 30-minute either FaceTime or phone call every month. So if you're working on a project with your bus and you want to show me some things, I've helped people get their buses running and so on with the Patreon. So, you know, by using the FaceTime, I can help them figure out what their problems are and tell them what to fix and what's wrong with it. It's a nice tool to have. That's one feature that I have with that. Also, we have our t-shirts and stuff available through the Teespring link, which you should see here on YouTube. If you've not purchased any of our stickers or hats or anything like that, that's something fun to think about. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and watch for tomorrow's video.